Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pathbreaker podcast series by Path Builder. This is a podcast series where we speak with industry experts and young professionals who've taken on interesting careers, more specifically in the development sector. And we'll basically hear from them about their journey experiences and some practical insights on what it takes to work in spaces where things are not necessarily easy and have chosen careers which are different from the usual. My name is Rachna, and I'm your host for today. And we have with us Ruchi from the Maharashtra State Innovation Society, and a huge welcome to Ruchi, and thank you for being with us here today.
Hi, Rachna. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So I think Ruchi has a super interesting academic and career journey so far. And so, Ruchi, I think we'll just get started. And if you could tell us a little bit about your journey so far, and talk about a little bit about maybe your academic background and how you started your career and what got you to working with the State Innovation Society.
Sure. So by qualification, I am a chartered accountant and a company secretary. So I started off my journey like, any finance professional will do with a stat audit team at PricewaterhouseCoopers in Kolkata. So I'm born and brought up in Kolkata, and I started off with PricewaterhouseCoopers. Then eventually I shifted to Mumbai. There being a hardcore finance professional, then I shifted to my role with the Tata Teleservices Group, the Tata Group, where I was I was in the FP&A role, and there was a lot of number crunching involved, a lot of Excel work involved, and a lot of late night sittings, which any finance professional will relate to. Eventually, I moved on to the cement sector, and I worked closely with the Ambuja Group. And then, since being a finance professional for almost 7-8 years, I got this opportunity to work with the Maharashtra State Innovation Society. So here I head the corporate affairs for the team at Maharashtra State Innovation. And it's been 4 years, and it has been a roller coaster ride for me, in a good sense, wherein, every day is a new day. Every day is a very enriching experience. You come to work, you have to work, but then nothing is decided, you don't have a set routine per se, because the work is very dynamic, the environment is very dynamic, and you get to interact with so many people around. You get to solve a lot of problems. So yeah, it's been quite a nurturing and enriching experience working with the state nodal agency. And here we as a team, it's a small team of 10 to 15 employees, and we all are from private backgrounds, and with diverse set of experiences and skill sets. And to be honest, Maharashtra State Innovation Society is itself a startup, and we also are learning as we are growing. And so yeah, we being the state's nodal agency, our core focus is to promote and support the startup innovation, startup and the innovation ecosystem around the state. And in the 4 years journey, I think we have done quite a bit in supporting around 100 plus startups through our flagship program called the Maharashtra Startup Week, wherein we have given work orders worth 10 crores. And eventually we have also set up around 17 incubation centers across the state. And we have a lot more initiatives coming up. So yeah, do keep checking our website and social media handles for the same.
Absolutely. I think thank you so much for kind of not just sharing your career path so far, but also talking to us about the State Innovation Society and all the amazing work y'all are doing there. And we'll come back to that. But I'm just stepping back a little bit and curious, what got you interested in this role after working as a hardcore finance professional for so many years?
It's a very interesting question, Rachna. I mean, it's to be honest, it was it was a very difficult question, when this choice came to me, whether I want to continue as a hardcore finance professional or whether I would want to take this opportunity, because this is something which I never expected, and it was a 360-degree turnaround for my career, to be precise. And it's one of its kind opportunity, to be honest. So when you are a chartered accountant or when you are a hardcore finance professional, the focus is always on setting profits, getting the books right. in Even if you're not a marketing professional, but there are a lot of targets which are given, which are needed to drive. And somewhere in the overall rat race, you forget, at least what I felt is, you tend to forget what are your core values and what is it that keeps you driving to come to work or to to live life to the fullest. So eventually I realized, I am working, but somewhere that zeal or that passion to work was suddenly dying down. So when I got this opportunity, uh, I have never heard about this opportunity from any of my colleagues or friends or peers eventually. And then I thought, why not give it a shot? So being a finance professional, numbers and Excel and laws and taxation is my forte, definitely. But I always wanted to do something for the society or something for others wherein I can contribute in a way, or I wanted to give it back to the society, maybe in a way, which gives me peace while I'm going back to bed, that, okay, I've done something today. I've helped someone in a way and I've given back to the society. So that was the reason I thought of taking up this opportunity. Believe me, when I started, uh, for me, start innovation and startup were just words which I have heard but never explored in detail. But yes, when I took this journey, I got to know there's so much to learn. There's so much to work around. There's so much support which I can, as an individual or as a team member, can provide to the startup community or to the innovations ecosystem around me. And it's really amazing. It's really amazing. So yeah, I mean, the as a child, when you say, we always aspire, okay, uh, we have seen our elders or in our community get into a government job. It's a safe job, life settle ho jata hai. So for me, it is a government job, but again, we are a contractual employees. But that only piece of satisfaction is working for the community, wherein your small work is going to create a huge impact in anyone's career. That was the sole reason I opted for this job. Yes.
Wow, Ruchi, thank you so much for sharing your personal experiences and thoughts on this. And I think uh, the way you've approached it is exactly what we're also trying to do. Is help that is find helping uh, youth kind of find more meaningful and purposeful careers. And I think you kind of set the perfect example for that. And also like to highlight, and you'd also talked about like core values and what lets you sleep peacefully at night at the end of the day after doing all the work that you put in, right? So I think that's just fantastic, and I think it is really important. And I think most of us find it hard to do it maybe initially, but consciously thinking about it and uh, trying to figure out what values and what kind of career you want to see over a period of time, and what do you want to prioritize, right? I think that's absolutely critical. So thank you so much for bringing out these points.
Thank you, Rachna.
And also now moving over to your role and your experiences within the Innovation Society, right? You did talk about you've been here for 4 years. It's a dynamic culture. It's not really a dynamic environment, not necessarily routine driven, etc. So, I mean, what is the experience? What do you think is the experience like for someone who's, let's say, just starting out in their careers and would be interested to kind of work with your team? What would it be like at the early stages?
So just to highlight, about the profile which I handle here. So I head the corporate affairs team here, and also look after, or also is in charge of the women entrepreneurship cell at the state innovation team. So when I joined in, I was responsible for creating the ensuring that the compliances, everything is in place for the society, from the legal perspective, from the finance perspective, ensuring that we are functioning smoothly in terms of taxation, audit, everything. And then eventually, as a team, we figured out that as I mentioned earlier, that we are a close knit team of around 10 to 12 employees, and we come from diverse backgrounds. So we have a couple of chartered accountants in the team. Some of them are lawyers. Then most of them are from engineering backgrounds, and also we have good MBAs around. So we all started, sharing our experiences, how we come from diverse backgrounds, and we eventually learned from each other, and just to set the context, most of our team members were part of this Chief Minister Fellowship program, which was run by the government of Maharashtra couple of years back, wherein 11-month kind of internship program for professionals was designed by the CM office, and best of the talent were chosen to work with the government in various departments. So working with these professionals who were eventually a part of this core team also made us realize that working with the government is not just about a 9 to 5 job, but it has a much more wider and a holistic approach. What are the challenges which people actually face on the ground? How the government deals with it, despite the challenges in terms of bureaucracy, in terms of corruption, in terms of any other factor which acts as a deterrent for the overall functioning. So to answer your question, in the hindsight, it might seem that it's a very lucrative job, but it is. It is a job. It's a very lucrative job, and anyone who is keen to be a change maker, to create an impact in the society, and feel responsible for what they are doing, this kind of role sets the tone right. If anyone is keen on building a career out of this, so. If you can just repeat your question. I think I kind of diverged into another area.
Oh no, that's okay. I think you set the context, and you did talk a little bit about what kind of people should or can consider this kind of a role. So don't worry about that. And then I'm just also curious, right? Because you did talk about the team kind of runs a lot of programs. There are a lot of uh, interesting, exciting initiatives. Some you were just telling me before this call. So there's obviously like a lot of energy and a lot of things to do constantly. For someone who's keen to kind of maybe explore a career sort of in their early stages to this kind of a role, what kind of skill sets or mindsets would you look for?
Right. So, as I mentioned, we have professionals who are from finance background, who are lawyers, who are in MBAs, or who are from an engineering background. So yes, these kind of skill sets are definitely required. All of us are well qualified with a good amount of experience, from starting the earliest or the minimum experience which is required for an entry year is 3+ years of your working experience. And so we have a position called as innovation fellows, wherein the freshers are allowed to apply with a minimum experience of 2 years, and so they are mostly involved into a lot of initiatives which we are driving. and they get hands-on training about how the government is functioning, how the policies are written, how the overall bureaucracy is designed, how is it structured. So the skill set in terms of the hard skills, I would say you need to be technically sound, definitely, and you need to have the expertise in the area which you are hired for, be it accounting, be it taxation, be it marketing, or any other profile for that matter. And in terms of soft skills, I would say you need a lot of patience and the perseverance for driving initiatives. The reason being, there are functioning in the government has its own set of challenges because of uh, because of the way the systems are designed. So yes, you need to have a lot of patience and perseverance while you are working on certain projects. And apart from that, you need to have excellent command in the English language. Yes, that is required because there are a lot of policy interventions required. You need to be very updated about a lot of you need to be updated about the current affairs, a lot of things which happen in the ecosystem per se. Because so we generally have lot of interacting sessions, informal sessions within the group. We share our experiences with each other, what we read, what we discussed, and how we are networking with each other. So networking is one very important aspect when it comes to working with teams like this, because this is what keeps us growing. This is what helps us keep updated about what's happening in the ecosystem. And also we need to have, since as I mentioned, we are a startup ourselves, and there's no hierarchical structure in the entity here. So we are assigned responsibilities, definitely, but then we are motivated enough, or we need to be motivated enough to drive those projects, to drive those programs. As I mentioned, patience and perseverance is needed. So if you don't have that, you may find it difficult working in situations like this. So definitely leadership abilities are required. You need because, and also you will be interacting with a lot of government officials, people, senior IAS officials, MPSC officials. So having a good knowledge about the entire government functioning and machinery and various laws which you have been which you are supposed to be working then with is also very much required for this particular profile. So it's not that everyone is aware about, but yes, we have also learned it on the job. We have also burnt our hands in a lot of things. And yes, it's a enriching experience that we have been through.
Amazing, Ruchi. I love how you've shared so much in terms of what people who are potentially interested in this as a career could look for. So thank you so much, and I love how you highlighted not just the technical skills, but also things like having patience, perseverance, which is, I can imagine, is critical for anyone working in this space. So thank you for sharing that. And I think interesting to note that while you preferably look for people with like 3+ years of experience, you also run a fellowship program, which helps people even with a couple of years of experience get insight into the workings of uh, the State Innovation Society. Like you said, it's sort of kind of like a government system, but also you're operating as a startup. So I think that's a very interesting balance, and that kind of leads me to my next question, which is, I think there's still a lot of sort of, if I can call it, myth around what it's like working within a government system or within a state government system in this case. And correct me if I'm wrong, but are there any insights you could share which kind of breaks those myths, or it could be things that you were surprised about when you first started working here?
Uh, so as I mentioned earlier, like one of the myths is, it's working for the government is easy. It's just a 9 to 5 job. To be honest, it's not. We as a team, we are working as a core team for the ecosystem around. We slog hard, we slog really hard. So there are days when we have left office at around 10 or 11 at night, and nonetheless, and I mean, there's no time boundary per se. We have worked on weekends. Is no different from working for a corporate, to be honest, because government has its own deadlines. We have seen IS officers working and slogging hard and being available overnight, for calls or for assistance any which ways. Also, as you mentioned, Amit, we are all aware how the last 2.5 years were for all of us when COVID hit. So we all were, everyone was supposed to be at home, supposed to be, safe and take maximum precaution. But this was, a very eye-opening experience for me when, everyone was at home, but we as a team and led by our senior IS officials, we were motivated, that this is the time when we should prove that, what we are here for. And we were working at least 14 hours a day during the entire COVID period for almost 1.5 years, where we were working with medicine distributors around the country, with all the government hospitals in the state, with all the big food suppliers when it came to supplying food to all the government hospitals. I was personally volunteering for 5 to 6 government hospitals in Mumbai, wherein every day close to 200 meals were delivered to each and every hospital. Also, we were working closely with a lot of ration distributing in collaboration with our CSR and NGO partners. So we as a team voluntarily raised close to 50 plus crores of CSR funding through our NGO and CSR partners, and we worked relentlessly 14 to 16 hours a day just to ensure that the machinery is working and we are available in case any help is needed. Also, our team, few of my team members were closely working with the hardcore oxygen supplying team. We were liaising with all the oxygen manufacturers. We initiated, or we were working as a part of the core team when it came to setting up various oxygen plants across the state. So all these experiences are such which turns the table around. This is something which you will never get to see or experience if you are not in the government space. The timing may be wrong. You get to learn when the pandemic hit, but nonetheless, it's a myth that government doesn't. You feel that it's a very relaxed job, but it's not. We since the day I have joined, I'll not say I have slogged, but the days whenever I've slogged, I have never regretted that, oh, why I'm doing this. I should not have. Kya chal raha hai? I can't put so much of effort. I cannot slog for 12 to 16 hours a day. But rather, I'm happy that, okay, this, at least I put in my best foot forward, and someone eventually will be happy going to bed. And maybe I fed someone directly or indirectly, and maybe he's not sleeping half with an empty stomach, or he is not deprived of basic necessities. This was the feeling when we as a team were working for the pandemic support.
Ruchi, thank you for bringing up that aspect as well. I recall you sharing some of these experiences earlier as well, and I think thank you for all the hard work and the commitment you put in during this time. And like you said, right, I think it's definitely not a job for those who are not actually driven by the core purpose of what y'all are doing. So that's absolutely fantastic. And I think that kind of also concludes all the questions that I had for you. And thank you so much for these fantastic insights. I think this was a really enriching conversation for me personally as well. Just want to ask you if there's any last words you want to share with the young folks who are listening in on this podcast?
Sure. Thank you, Rachna, for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences. I mean, there are so many which I can share, and we can have a discussion which can last for hours. So I'll just take a minute maybe to kind of conclude what I'm. So whatever I believe that we from the day we kind of are aware about our surroundings, or are aware about our purpose in life. We are always driven by the fact, we need to earn, we need to grow, we need to have a settled life, we need to have these many luxuries, or XYZ, whatever we have been brought up, the kind of environment we have been brought up in, or we have been inculcated with the feeling. But somewhere I feel that, we eventually follow the path, or we eventually follow the trend which has been set by our predecessors. But somewhere while walking down the line, or while ensuring tick marks on with respect to our life or our careers, there will always be a moment, or always be a time when we identify this, that there's a bigger purpose to life, and we need to identify that. And once you identify that, you will always be on the right path, whatever it be. So never feel that, this particular job, or this particular service, or whatever business you are doing is not is not going is not going to be lucrative enough. Or as long as you are happy, as long as you are content, as long as you feel that, you are giving your 100%, you will always be on the right path, and you will always succeed. So it's just a matter of time, it's just a matter of patience and trust and faith. Believe me that when I started my journey here, I was not sure what is it that I will land up with, what is it that I'll I was there was a sense of fear. I'm leaving my overall expertise as a chartered accountant, and and completely opting for a path which I've never explored. But trust me, this journey has been really beautiful, and now I'm sure that, I can carve a career out of something which I've never thought existed. So always believe in yourself is what I'll say. And like Innovation Society at Maharashtra State, there this model has been replicated throughout almost all the states in the country. So Telangana, Kerala, Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan, all of them have teams like this who are working to support the startup ecosystem in the state. And there's Startup India at the center. So if you feel, you want to be a change maker, you want to create an impact, you want to feel content that yes, you have done your bit for the society, there are a lot of positions and openings at all these states nodal agencies. Please explore them, please visit their websites, and you can always reach out to me. And please do check our social media handles and our website, which is www.msins.in, for all the offerings we have for our startups, for our incubators, and all the positions which we come up with are for any kind of openings which we have at our innovation team. And you can reach out to me at ruchi@msins.in. That's my mail ID. And I'll be more than happy to help you guys in whatever role I can. So that's it. I mean, be happy, be alive, and keep faith in yourself, and you will do wonders. That's it from my side. Thank you, Rachna.
Wow, thank you so much, Ruchi. I think with your inspiring words, I am almost tempted to check out all of these job openings that you just talked about. And I literally have nothing else to add to that. So thank you for such a wonderful conclusion as well. And once again, thank you for your time. And we look forward to hopefully hearing more from you in the future as well. And for everyone else tuning in today, thank you so much for listening to our Pathbreaking podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and also subscribe to our weekly newsletter, which shares job openings for early stage or young professionals. So until the next episode, have a great day. Thank you.